Hi. Well, I don't know what I'm going to call this one right now, but you know because you're watching it. Right now, I don't know. But my overall point or my overall message is to elaborate on a point that I made in the last video, and that is that sex today, and today I mean we're about to move into 2019 in a few days, but today, no exceptions, all sex has been contaminated. And I think the contamination started maybe, I don't know, sometime in the 1920s or 30s, somewhere around that the contamination really began to grow and spread from one decade to another. You know, I came up, I'm 75 years old, and I grew up in the 40s. That's where I started. And I know that with me, I started off contaminated. Now, nobody approached me. Nobody ever tried to harm me. I didn't even know what the word pedophile meant. But as a young child, and I was walking, they tell me, when I was 1 year or 8 months old. Well, I walked someplace where I should not have walked. And I stayed around and I started sniffing. And I smelled sex. And I heard the sounds. And that hooked into my soul that by the time I was 3, I was found in a closet trying to work up something with this little boy. And he didn't come after me. I went after him. I was the perp. I was the 3-year-old predator. And my family would come and find me in the closet somewhere. And they would say, Pam, what you doing in there? And, you know, I was quiet and on the shy side. None of y'all would ever really believe that, right? But it's true. I grew up, you know, one of the A students. And didn't talk too much about what was going on in my head. But one of the things I did most of my life, I figured out something. Nobody had to tell me. There was no TV to watch to find out about this stuff. All right? But something got a hold of me. And I believe it was the devil. You know? Because I discovered masturbation real young. And I was always trying to get something going on. Always trying to rub up against this and rub up against that. And try a little this and that. Always sneaky. Very sneaky. And technically, I was a virgin. But oh no, I caught on to the thrill and was always steady seeking. I wasn't trying to seek no little boys no more. I was just trying to seek that thrill. And then when I first had sex, I was 18 years old and I was away to college at a school where it was only 7 blacks. And, you know, so we just joined up. And once I got it, the first time I remember laughing. I was like, this is it? This is what it's all about? All this is it? But eventually I came around and I found out about the climax. I found out all about that. And by the time I got born again, I had my share. I just put it to you like that. And then after I got born again, the Lord had to deal with me because I had issues. Now, here's what you're going to have to understand. Yes, we are in sex and in lots of other ways contaminated by sin, contaminated by the devil, contaminated by our own, nature, personality. Perversion is prevalent amongst us. And this is what you got to understand. God knows that. So all of you folk out there that's filled with shame and guilt, and let me tell you something, that shame and guilt will keep you in the cycle of not being able to control your sexuality. The shame and guilt will do that. And I'm here to tell you, I've been 42 years this March born again. I was 33 years old when I got born again, and I'd had my own little sexual history up until that point. And God was extremely patient with me. I remember one time, when I got born again, I was dating a married man. And after I got born again, he still wanted to date me. And I still wanted to date him. So one day I was walking through my house, and the next thing I know, I was on my back. I don't know how I got there. I just collapsed and never lost consciousness. But I heard the voice of the Lord speak sternly to me and say to me, Pam, you're causing Dave to commit adultery. Stop it. Stop it. I was like, ooh. Dust myself off. Wanted to go across the street to the corner store. But I was afraid I was either going to get hit by lightning or a Mack truck was going to come and knock me down. And I tiptoed out of there. But I snuck one more time. In spite of all that fear of the Lord I had, one more time before I told him, I'm sorry, I can't deal with you anymore. And then there were others, not a whole lot of others. But see, what the enemy will do when you do get born again is he will know your weaknesses and he will send folk to you as temptation. And I got my little share of that. Okay? So, my point is, number one, all sex is contaminated today. We are not living in Bible times. We're not even living in the 1940s times. We're living in these times. Okay? And children, like I was, but even deeper, are affected by this sexual thing. So at first, I was going to, not allow children to watch these videos, but no, they need to see them. They need to see them. So, God had a great deal of mercy and grace for me. Okay? Some of you are looking for miracles. Oh, Lord, If you don't want me to have sex today, then stop the man or the woman from coming over, interrupt us, break us. No. He gave you free will now. Okay? If he has to come in and wave his little magic wand, and it's not little, wave his magic wand to get you out of sexual trouble each and every time, okay, you're not going to grow and learn anything. So, even as a born-again Christian, all right, for the 42 years I have been a born-again Christian, 17 of those years I've been married. So what that means is that 25 of those years I have been not legal to have sex. All right? And I would say that for 20 of those years, I have been successful. But the first 5, I was struggling. I'd fall and get back up, dust myself off. All right? But God never condemned me. And I'm going to tell y'all the truth. Masturbation helped me out. Okay? Because I learned what to do, how to do it, could do it in 2 minutes and be done with it. Didn't have to imagine or think or come up with anything nasty in order to get myself off. I did what I had to do because, like I said before, once you open up that door, flesh is going to be flesh. And I got to learn how to walk in the Spirit. Do I masturbate now? No, don't need to. All right? And I had a dream this morning that got me on this. And in that dream, I was in the bed with 2 people, a lesbian and a man. Now, the lesbian was a butch, and she was trying to hide and trying to pretend she was a man. And the man was in the bed too, and the 3 of us were laying there asleep. As I'm sleeping and dreaming this, then all of a sudden I'm feeling somebody fooling around with me in those parts. And I leap up in the dream and I stand over and I said, now which one of you did that? And the lesbian had a cover over her head, trying to hide. I said, it was you. I said, let me let you understand something, honey. I said, I don't go that way. And anybody who's going to touch me, you, whether you man or woman, you going to have to get my permission to do it. So I'm telling you now, no. So, what did that show me about myself? That I am in control of my sexuality. And even when I'm passed out in sleep, nobody can come up on me and do nothing unless I allow you to. All right? That's what we're after, sugar. You be in control of you. Because if you're not, the devil is coming up on you, see? That was a play I was experiencing. Those 2 beings in the bed with me, they were demons or fallen angels, all right? Trying to see if they could get that old chasing the thrill Pam, that orgasm-loving girl, to come forth and do and accept what they was about to put down. And I was shown, no, I am in control. Finally, but I got there. Till next time, I got more to say.